you're not intelligent, you don't cultivate your intelligence and make the most of it, eventually you lose sight of truth entirely. And that's what has happened to most of these people. They're adapting, okay, we've got a narrative, I'm not going to get ahead in life unless I accept the narrative. So they accept the narrative. It's called adaptation. Okay, it's artificial, it's not like natural selection, where nature selects you. Okay, you're being selected now by a bunch of ideologues. A bunch of people who want you to adopt a certain way of looking at things because they have all the money and power and they want to keep it forever.
The real you is not a puppet which life pushes around. The real deep down you is the whole universe.
The world that we live in is full of perspectives. Some perspectives are limited and other perspectives are expansive. And through my research, I've come across this theory of everything. I wrote down a bunch of notes on this theory because it matches up with everything that I've been diving into when it comes to spirituality and consciousness and figuring out what this life is, right? This theory is called the cognitive theoretic model of the universe, and it was created by 𝕶𝖓𝖔𝖉𝖌𝖊, a cosmologist that you could check out his research down in the description down below. The CTMU proves the existence of God, the human soul, concepts of good and bad, and it dives deeply into what happens after we pass. This theory of everything could be the most based and logical understanding of what life really is. It can serve as the key to bring peace on earth, where mankind can truly get past their cultural differences and see how we're all connected. The CTMU is composed of three principles: the metaphysical ontology principle, the mind equals reality principle, and the multiplex principle. The metaphysical ontology principle states that reality is self-describing and all operations and processes of reality are included in reality's description of itself. That reality brings itself into existence, both creating and sustaining its structure and evolution. The mind equals reality principle states that only through the analogy of the human mind perceiving the structure of the universe that the person can see the processes that govern his being. The CTMU supports a kind of panpsychism where not only reality, but the contents within reality are alive and conscious themselves. Reality is mental, and through conscious beings like humans within itself, reality becomes self-aware. This is counter to the atheistic mindset where they believe that there is no God and that there is no meaning in any of this. The CTMU combines science, philosophy, and religion, showing God as ultimate reality. Being that God is ultimate reality, it can't be described by language that's limited by culture. It gives an overly intellectualized definition that pales in comparison to a religious experience of God. God is a personal experience, which ties back to my studies with Carl Jung and the archetypical minds, where we as humans use archetypes such as demons and angels as a way of communicating back to source. There's a direct link between raw consciousness and the local consciousness that's held within our bodies. And this is what it means to be made in the image of God. That we are all the figments of God's imagination. That we're the thoughts in God's mind. We collectively make up the story within God's mind. Like this is God's dream. There's a direct link between your mind and knowledge of all of creation. And it's through this link that we get our creativity, that we get free will, that we get perception. This link is called your soul, and it's your relationship with God, or lack thereof. Treating others the way how you want to be treated is expanding your awareness past your body and understanding the collective nature that we all share. By doing this, you're participating in the structured evolution of the universe, and you retain more of God's essence, which allows you to live past your body's expiration date. If you lived a life of hatred, of separation, of malice, these things are insufficient to God. So your identity will become destroyed or recycled where you have to go through life all over again. The CTMU is a theory of everything that combines science, philosophy, and religion in a new meta language that transcends the cultural boundaries that keep us from communicating these ideas with one another. The CTMU shows that anything on the level of human existence that goes against the will of God is foolish and irrational. If we can collectively point out the stupidity that plagues our society, then we can manage to bring heaven on earth.
When I was young, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way.
You might not agree with this theory, but I think that it's important for us as humans to revise our understanding of what reality is, as it's constantly changing. Be not conformed to the patterns of this world, but be ye transformed through the renewing of your mind. That scripture is simply saying that this world, we can become attached to it from time to time, and that attachment causes suffering because reality is constantly changing. Everything is growing and decaying. Nothing is going to stay the same forever. So through your attachment, of course, there's going to be pain because it's going to leave you one day. We must be transformed through our thinking, that only through processing reality with our mind that we can grow with it. I believe that the CTMU is the curriculum of the future, and it could serve as a logical basis to break down the boundaries of cultural differences, that we may understand each other's souls and connect more as a society without fighting over which perception is right. I don't care what you think, as long as you're thinking. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.
He just keeps walking. He doesn't know. He's just part of of lots of worlds. And the human race is sort of like that. After they've discovered what's up there, they know they're only a little part of the huge galaxy.